Hello, dear students. Hope you all are fit and fine at your home and enjoying your online sessions. So, welcome back to your biology online class. And today we'll start with the third chapter. Your two chapters are already over, and we are going to start chapter number third, that is reproduction in humans. So in the previous chapter, that is reproduction in plants, you got a general idea about what is reproduction, what are the different types of reproduction, and how the plants will do the reproduction. Okay, so let's again revise what is reproduction and what are the different types. So this is the most important chapter because in this chapter you are going to study about reproduction in humans, means how you came into existence. Okay, so this is a very important chapter of your human physiology. So reproduction means means again, production means to produce. So it is the process by which living organisms produce more organisms of their own kind. This reproduction is the physiological process which is very different from other physiological processes of the human body. Why? Because just like different physiological process of human body, respiration, digestion, circulatory system, they all are the essential process without which a human being cannot survive. But it is not an essential process. It is a process of reproducing their own kind. If a human being is not doing reproduction, then also he or she can survive. But this is an essential process for the continuity and survival of a species, because it is very essential. With this process, they are producing more of organism of their own kind, and if the species will not do the reproduction, then how that species will survive or continue. Okay, so here we will study that how the human beings will do the reproduction. Okay, so you have already studied that reproduction is of two types, that is asexual and sexual reproduction. In the lower organism, asexual mode of reproduction will occur, means only one parent is involved and they are producing their 100% identical copies, or we can say 100% identical progenies or babies. Okay, and in sexual reproduction, two parents are involved. So this mode of reproduction will be seen in higher animals and even in higher plants also. You have studied about sexual mode of reproduction in plants. So all the higher organisms, they will do the reproduction with sexual reproduction. Okay, in which two parents are involved and the progenies or babies will be generated. They are not 100% identical to their parents' plants. Okay, so let us discuss in detail that how this reproduction will occur. So in the previous chapter, you got an idea that in the process of reproduction, the main two steps in the plants are pollination and fertilization. In the pollination, there will be a transfer of male gamete into the female gamete, and then there will be a fertilization through which zygote will be formed, and finally it will get developed into a seed. And here also the process will be very similar. Okay, here also what will happen? Here the fertilization process is of two types, external and internal. So let us see how it is different. In the lower animals, they are having external fertilization. What is the meaning of external fertilization? Means the fusion of male gamete and female gamete will occur outside the female body. Let us discuss what is external fertilization. So in the external fertilization, which is seen in the lower animals like fishes and frogs, what they are doing, they are releasing their sperm in the water and the female will release their egg cells in the water, and as a result what will happen, both the gametes will come into the water and then they will fuse in water only, and they will produce the zygote, and finally that zygote will convert into a new organism. So here we can see in the external fertilization, fusion kahan hua hai? Outside the female body, not inside the female body. Even the development of the new organism will also occur outside the female body. So such kind of external fertilization can be seen in aquatic habitat. Okay, but in the higher animals and even in the human beings also, we have internal fertilization. What is internal fertilization? In the internal fertilization, first of all, in the male, the reproductive organ will produce the sperm cells. For example, the testicles will produce the sperm cells, and the female reproductive part will produce the egg cell. And now the sperms will be incorporated, or it will be transferred into the female body through the process of copulation. And then what will happen? Now in the female body, the fertilization will occur, means those will get fused together and they will form the zygote here. And then finally that zygote will develop into a new organism or into a baby in the फीमेल बॉडी ओनली. सो यहाँ पे फर्टिलाइजेशन क्या हो रहा है? फीमेल की बॉडी के अंदर हो रहा है और यहीं पे बेबी का डेवलपमेंट होता है इन द मदर्स वॉम्ब. ओके, सो अंडरस्टूड द डिफरेंस. Internal fertilization means that kind of fertilization will be seen in the higher animals, and here the fusion will take place inside the body of female. Okay? And similar internal fertilization will occur in human beings also. Okay, in human beings also internal fertilization will occur. Okay, fusion of male and female gamete will be occur in female body, and then zygote will be formed in female body, and finally the baby will develop into a womb of female body. Okay, so let's understand better. Okay, so here from the male gamete will be produced by male reproductive system, and that male gamete is called as sperm. Female gamete, that is called as egg cells, will be produced by female body. Then by the process of fertilization, a single cell zygote will be formed, and then this zygote, okay, from here it is showing the same, that egg or ovum is produced by female body and sperms are produced by male body. They will fuse together by the process of fertilization, and finally a single cell zygote will be formed, and slowly that zygote will develop into a new baby or small little baby in the womb of female. Okay, so here these are the developmental stages that we will discuss later on. So here you need to understand one more thing, that for every species the number of chromosomes are always same. For human being the number of chromosomes are 46. So to generate a new baby, always the reproductive cells are having half number of chromosome. Here you can see human being बनने के लिए 46 chromosomes होने चाहिए. So 23 chromosomes will come from the mother and 23 chromosomes will come from the father, and finally 46 chromosome will be there in the newborn baby. So here we can say that by the process of sexual reproduction, the gametes are single N, or we can say they are having half number of chromosome. So here the human being will be 50% identical to its mother and 50% identical to its father. Okay, so these are the different developmental stages with that we will discuss later on. So I think you got an overview of reproduction कि इसमें क्या होता है. इसमें क्या होता है, एक मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम है जो कि स्पर्म्स प्रोड्यूस करता है, फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम है जो कि एग सेल प्रोड्यूस करते हैं. फिर उसके बाद थ्रू द प्रोसेस ऑफ कॉपुलेशन दे विल फ्यूज टुगेदर, एंड देन फर्टिलाइजेशन मीन्स दे विल कम टुगेदर, एंड देन द प्रोसेस ऑफ फर्टिलाइजेशन विल अकर. जाइगोट बनेगा फीमेल बॉडी में, and slowly that zygote will convert into a newborn baby. Okay, now let us discuss in detail the reproductive system, male reproductive system and female reproductive system. So here we will see that what is the different parts of male reproductive system and how the sperms will be produced in it and how they will reach into the female reproductive system. Okay, so in the male, the reproductive system is consist of different parts: external genitalia or internal genitalia. Genitalia means that reproductive part is called as genital area. Okay, or primary, that reproductive organs are also called as gonads. Okay, female gonads and male gonads. So in the male reproductive parts, the major parts are external genitalia, यानी जो बाहर दिखाई देते हैं, and even the internal genitalia. So ये पूरे system के different parts हैं जो कि साथ में काम करके sperm का production करते हैं, और उसके बाद में they are also doing by this reproductive system, they are also discharging those sperm into the female body. Now let us discuss what are the different parts. First of all, let's discuss that scrotum. What is scrotum? This is the extra abdominal portion or a sac-like cavity which will contain the testis. This is testis, okay, and this testis is located into the scrotum. That scrotum is extra abdominal portion, means ये abdomen से बाहर होती है. Why? Because the main reproductive organ is testis. और स्क्रोटम क्या करती है, टेस्टिस को कैरी करती है. एंड इन द मेल बॉडी दे आर हैविंग अ पेयर ऑफ टेस्टिस. ओके, टेस्टिस मीन्स सिंगल टेस्टिस, और अगर दोनों है तो उसको हम बोलेंगे टेस्टिस. टीईएस इज कॉल्ड एज टेस्टिस. सो इन अ मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम देर आर पेयर ऑफ टेस्टिस, और ये जो टेस्टिस है दैट इज लोकेटेड इन अ सैक लाइक स्ट्रक्चर कॉल्ड एज स्क्रोटम विच इज एन एक्स्ट्रा एब्डोमिनल इन नेचर. मीन्स ये एब्डोमेन से बाहर की तरफ होता है. ओके, एंड व्हाट इज द रीजन बिहाइंड इट? रीजन ये है कि जो स्पर्म्स होते हैं वो कहाँ प्रोड्यूस होते हैं, टेस्टिस में, और उनको टेम्परेचर हमेशा हमारा जो बॉडी टेम्परेचर है उससे 2 या 3 डिग्री और कम चाहिए होता है. वी आर हैविंग अ फिक्स बॉडी टेम्परेचर ऑफ 37 डिग्री सेल्सियस. ओके, बट द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ स्पर्म ऑलवेज नीड अ लोअर टेम्परेचर. सो ये लोअर टेम्परेचर करने के लिए इस पोर्शन को बॉडी से बाहर की तरफ निकाल दिया जाता है. एंड नाउ इट इज टूवर्ड्स द आउटर साइड ऑफ एक्स्ट्रा एब्डोमिनल कैविटी में होता है, जिससे कि यहाँ का टेम्परेचर क्या रहे, बॉडी के टेम्परेचर से थोड़ा लो रहे, और यहाँ पे स्पर्म का प्रोडक्शन आराम से हो जाए. ओके, सो हियर वी हैव स्टडीड अबाउट द स्क्रोटम विच इज द सैक लाइक स्ट्रक्चर इन विच विल कैरी द पेयर ऑफ टेस्टिस. ओके, नाउ फ्रॉम द टेस्टिस यू कैन सी दिस ट्यूब. Now this tube is called as sperm duct. Duct का मतलब क्या होता है, ट्यूब. That sperm duct is also called as vas deferens. Okay, sperm duct is also called as vas deferens. The main name is vas deferens, but it will carry the sperm. That's why it is also called as sperm duct. Duct का मतलब होता है ट्यूब. Okay, here you need to understand one more thing, that in 7th standard you have studied about the excretory system. Do you remember the parts of excretory system? Kidneys होती है, kidneys से ureter आती है नीचे, उसके बाद urinary bladder, and then the final is tube-like structure is the urethra which is expelling out our urine outside. So I think you remember all these parts. Now let us discuss here that ये जो system है, this system is the part of your excretory system. Okay, so ये क्या है, bladder. ओके, इससे ऊपर ये यूरेटर है और उससे ऊपर यहाँ कहीं किडनीज है. सो ये यूरिनरी ब्लैडर है, और यूरिनरी ब्लैडर से ये जो ट्यूब है दैट इज द यूरिथ्रा थ्रू विच द यूरिन विल बी पास्ड आउट. ओके, सो दिस ट्यूब इज कॉल्ड एज यूरिथ्रा विच इज कनेक्टेड टू द यूरिनरी ब्लैडर. Here you need to understand that urethra is the tube which will expel out the urine. Okay, for the discharging of urine, the tube is urethra. And this is the sperm duct, जिससे क्या होगा, जो स्पर्म्स यहाँ टेस्टिस में प्रोड्यूस हो रहे हैं वो स्पर्म्स अब क्या होंगे, दे विल कम इनटू द यूरिथ्रा ट्यूब थ्रू द वास डेफरेंस. इज इट क्लियर? नाउ finally that sperm duct or vas deferens is connected to the urethra. Okay, so we can say that for discharging the sperm or for discharging the urine in the male, they are having the same organ or same opening. That is, opening is called as urethra, and this urethra is running through a organ called as penis. This is penis. Okay, this organ is called as penis. Okay, so here the parts are clear to all of you. Now what are the main parts of male reproductive system? Scrotum, sac like structure, उसके अंदर ये testis, pair of testis is there. टेस्टिस में क्या होगा, स्पर्म प्रोडक्शन होगा. नाउ दीज आर द स्पर्म डक्ट, जिसको हम और क्या बोल सकते हैं, वास डेफरेंस. ओके, नाउ दोज वास डेफरेंस आर कनेक्टेड टू द यूरिथ्रा. यूरिथ्रा इज अ पार्ट ऑफ बोथ द सिस्टम, क्योंकि ये एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम का भी पार्ट है, plus it is also a part of the male reproductive system, because it is the common opening through which even the urine will be discharged, and even the sperms will also be discharged through in the female body through the same organ or through the same opening. Okay, इसके अलावा here some other parts are also given which are not mentioned in your book. These are some of the glands, prostate glands, seminal vesicle, bulbourethra. You will study about all these glands in your higher classes. Here you need to understand कि इन glands का क्या काम है. इन ग्लैंड्स को बोला जाता है एसेसरी ग्लैंड्स. ओके, सो इन योर बुक इट इज गिवन दैट इन एडिशन टू टेस्टिस, स्पर्म डक्ट, यूरिथ्रा एंड penis, in the male reproductive system many accessory glands are there. सो इनका क्या काम है? इनका काम है कि दोज एसेसरी ग्लैंड्स, ओके, दे आर लोकेटेड नियर बाय द यूरिथ्रा एंड द स्पर्म डक्ट. ओके, you can see this is a gland, this is the gland, this is the gland. So all these glands will secrete some secretion into that duct. ओके यहाँ से जब स्पर्म्स आएंगे, सो ये स्पर्म अब यहाँ जब आएंगे तो ये एसेसरी ग्लैंड्स भी अपना कुछ सिक्रीशन डाल लेंगे इसमें. ओके, एंड दोज सिक्रीशंस आर रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द सर्वाइवल ऑफ स्पर्म्स एंड इवन फॉर द lubrication of the sperms. Okay, so those secretion from the accessory glands are mixed here, and now that liquid with the sperm and secretion of accessory gland is called as semen. Okay, semen is that liquid which will carry all the sperms प्लस द सिक्रीशन ऑफ एसेसरी ग्लैंड्स. यानी यहाँ पे स्पर्म्स प्रोड्यूस होंगे, फिर यहाँ से प्रोड्यूस होके जब ये यहाँ से ट्रैवल करके यहाँ आएंगे और यूरिथ्रा के अंदर जब एंटर हो रहे होंगे उससे पहले यहाँ पे एसेसरी ग्लैंड अपना सिक्रीशन भी डाल देगी. सो यहाँ पे अब स्पर्म्स प्लस द एसेसरी ग्लैंड का सिक्रीशन, अब ये जो लिक्विड है दैट इज हैविंग मिलियंस ऑफ स्पर्म्स plus some secretion from the accessory gland, and now this liquid is called as semen. Okay, so this is the male reproductive organ, main organ, and through this penis now the sperms are discharged into the female body. Okay, so now this is all about the male reproductive system. This is the side view of the male reproductive system. Now here you can see one more diagram of the same male reproductive system, front view. Okay, so let's discuss. These are the two testes. We have already discussed कि male reproductive system के main parts क्या है? Pair of testes, okay, located in this scrotum. ये जो extra abdominal cavity और sac-like structure है, that is called as scrotum. ओके, सो यहाँ पे क्या होगा? स्पर्म्स का प्रोडक्शन होगा. मेल गैमेट्स का प्रोडक्शन कहाँ होता है? टेस्टिस के अंदर, ड्यू टू द हार्मोन कॉल्ड एज टेस्टोस्टेरोन. जो मेल सेक्स हार्मोन है उसका क्या नाम है? टेस्टोस्टेरोन. सो ड्यू टू दैट टेस्टोस्टेरोन प्रेजेंट इन द टेस्टिस, नाउ द टेस्टिस विल प्रोड्यूस स्पर्म्स. अब ये स्पर्म यहाँ से ट्रेवल करेंगे और यहाँ से ट्रेवल करते हुए अब ये कनेक्ट हो जाएंगे एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम से. ओके, दिस इज द यूरिनरी ब्लैडर ऑफ द एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम. ये यूरेटर्स हैं, यूरेटर से यूरिनरी ब्लैडर, और ये है यूरिथ्रा जिससे कि यूरिन बाहर डिस्चार्ज होता है. सो नाउ दैट मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम कि जो स्पर्म डक्ट है या वास्ट डेफरेंस है वो अब जाके यूरिथ्रा में कनेक्ट हो जाएगी और ये क्या कैरी करेगी? स्पर्म्स को कैरी करती है. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज स्पर्म डक्ट. और जब ये स्पर्म्स को यहाँ लेके आएगी तो जितने भी आसपास के एक्सेसरी ग्लैंड्स हैं वो भी अपना सिक्रीशन यहाँ डाल देंगे. एंड नाउ दैट लिक्विड इज कॉल्ड एज सीमेन, एंड दिस पीनिस विल एक्ट एज अ सेम ऑर्गन फॉर द डिस्चार्जिंग ऑफ यूरिन प्लस फॉर द डिस्चार्जिंग ऑफ semen. Now I think the male reproductive system is clear to all of you. Okay, so we have discussed the male reproductive system and its important parts and where the sperms will be produced and how they will come into the urethra and how they will be ejaculated into the female body through the organ called as penis. Okay, so this is the diagram showing the location, that these are the kidneys and this is the excretory system, and here it is the male reproductive system which is having the common part of urethra of excretory system. So this is the location of male reproductive system. Okay, now let's start with the female reproductive system. So just like male reproductive system, here also different parts are there. 5 different parts are present in the female reproductive system. These are ovaries, fallopian tube, uterus, cervix and vagina. Okay, so let's discuss in detail that what are these parts, where are these parts are located and what are the main functions of these parts. Okay, so basically the location that female reproductive part or organ system is situated in the pelvic or hip region, means it is located in the female body in the lower abdominal region. Okay, and there these ovaries are the main organs which will produce the female gamete. वहाँ पे मेल गैमेट कौन प्रोड्यूस करता था? टेस्टिस. टेस्टिस के अंदर जो मेल गैमेट से स्पर्म्स वो प्रोड्यूस होते थे. यहाँ पे जो एग सेल्स और ओवम है वो कौन प्रोड्यूस करता है? ओवरीज प्रोड्यूस करती है. ओके, सो दे आर हैविंग इन द मेल फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम, दे आर हैविंग अ पेयर ऑफ ovaries, just like the males are having pair of testes. Here the pair of ovaries are present. Okay, so from the ovaries now the egg cell will come into the fallopian tube. ओके, ओवरीज के अंदर इसका प्रोडक्शन होगा एग सेल का, और एग सेल फिर ट्रेवल करता हुआ फेलोपियन ट्यूब में आ जाता है। उसके बाद में यहाँ पे होता है फर्टिलाइजेशन, एंड देन द फर्टिलाइज्ड एग विल कम इनटू दिस यूट्रस एरिया. दैट यूट्रस एरिया इज अ होलो muscular pear shaped organ. In common language it is called as womb, where the baby will develop. Okay, and the cervix is the lower portion of the uterus, and in the last this vagina is the muscular part, or we can say it is the opening to the outside, and this muscular tube will receive the sperms. Okay, through the process of intercourse through the penis, now the male will inject the sperm in this vaginal area. Now those sperms will travel here, they will come here, egg cell is already present here. Now they will fertilize, and then the fertilized egg will come into the uterus, and here the baby will develop into a new organism. Okay, so we can say that this vagina will receive the sperms, and even it will serve as a birth canal through which the mature baby is delivered. Because when the fertilized egg will convert into a mature baby in this uterus area, now this will be delivered through the same pathway and expelled out through the vagina. That's why it is highly muscular. Okay, so that the baby can be delivered through this birth canal. Okay, so here you can see that these are the main important part called as ovary and uterus. Okay, these are the ovary, this is also ovary, this is the uterus, that is a hollow muscular bag. These are the tubes called as fallopian tube. Okay, ये इस लेफ्ट वाली ओवरी की और ये राइट वाली ओवरी की fallopian tube. Now these fallopian tubes are also called as oviduct. जैसे वहाँ पे स्पर्म जो कलेक्ट करती थी टेस्टिस से और यूरिथ्रा की तरफ एक्सपोज करती थी, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज वास रेफरेंस, एंड वी कैन ऑल्सो से स्पर्म डक्ट. उसके दो नाम थे यहाँ पे, ओविडक्ट एंड फिलोपियन ट्यूब आर द सेम. ओके, ओविडक्ट बिकॉज ये क्या करती है, दैट डक्ट विल कैरी द ओवम और एग सेल. So here you need to understand कि for each month only one, वहाँ पे millions of sperm produce होते हैं by male, but here in the female body each month only one egg will be produced. One month this ovary, alternatively they will produce, and 1 month this ovary will produce an egg. अब ये egg जो produce हो गया है तो slowly it will come into the fallopian tube. Okay, and here the egg cell will wait. Okay, here the egg cell will wait. Okay, and then if the intercourse will happen, then the sperms will be released here. Okay, now the sperm will swim, they will travel, they will swim, and then they will search that egg cell, and then here in the fallopian tube the fertilization will occur. They will fuse together and they will convert into a zygote. अब ये fusion होने के बाद zygote धीरे धीरे ट्रेवल करके यूट्रस में आ जाएगा, बिकॉज बेबी कांट डेवलप इन दिस ट्यूब. बेबी इज अ लार्ज साइज एंड इट कांट डेवलप इन दिस ट्यूब. सो फर्टिलाइजेशन यहाँ होगा, बट आफ्टर फर्टिलाइजेशन दैट जाइगोट विल ट्रेवल हियर, एंड नाउ इट विल गेट इम्प्लांटेड इन टू दैट यूट्रस. Okay, and here the growth and development of baby will take place, and finally through the cervix, through that vagina, now it will be delivered out when the baby will get matured. So vagina will also act as a birth canal, and even it will also receive the sperm through the process of intercourse. Okay, so this is all about the structure. Female reproductive system is also very simple. 5 major parts are there. These 5 parts are ovaries, fallopian tube, uterus, cervix, and vagina. Okay, and here the primary reproductive organ again is here ovaries, because they will produce the female gamete called as egg cells or ovum. Okay, and in the male reproductive organ the main primary reproductive part is testis, because it will produce the sperms. Okay, so Here you need to understand that in the testes the hormone testosterone is present, that's why they can produce sperm cells, and here in the ovaries progesterone and estrogens are present, that's why the ovaries can produce egg cells. Okay, so these hormones will play the essential role in the production of these gametes and even the secondary sexual characteristic features also which are present in our body. Okay, so whenever the body will get mature, some secondary sexual characteristic features will be seen in our body just because of these hormones, progesterone and estrogen in the females and testosterone in males. Okay, so we have discussed the female reproductive system. Now you can see here the location in the lower abdominal region, in the pelvic region. You can see this is the uterus, hollow muscular bag like structure. These are the two ovaries and through which the fallopian tube is extending out, and these fallopian tubes will connect the ovaries to the uterus. Okay, so these ovaries are very small in size, just like almond size. Okay, and the main thing that each month only one egg cell will be released from each any one of the ovary, and the process of fertilization will occur in the fallopian tube. Now this is the diagram showing again the female reproductive system. We have already discussed it. Now here these are the structure of the gametes produced by the male and female reproductive organs. This is the structure of sperm and this is the structure of egg cells, and then they will fuse together to form zygote, which will develop into a baby. So here you need to understand that in the male reproductive organ, then there will be million of sperm cells will be produced. Okay, and in the female reproductive organ, each month only one egg cell will be produced. The structure of sperm cell is somewhat like this, that it can easily swim and it can reach to the egg cell. Okay, and that egg cell is round in structure, and when one of the sperm cell will fuse, only out of all these millions of sperm cells, only one sperm cell will fuse with the egg cell, and then the number will become 2n or 46 chromosome number, and then this egg cell will convert into zygote, and then finally this will develop into a whole body. So this is the process of fertilization and development, and how the egg will be produced in the female body, which is called as ovulation. And there is one more topic, menstruation cycle. These all topics we will discuss in the next session by tomorrow. Okay, now before starting the next session by tomorrow, I really want all of you to please go through the topics which we have completed today, so that you can better understand the tomorrow's session. Okay, thank you so much.